Welcome back to L Boxing. We back with another one. So this is a new series that I'm starting today. It's called Process of Elimination, where I'm gonna take a look at a fighter and what's their next path, and just go through the rankings or any like network situation. We can eliminate some fighters, and then we're gonna take a look at it, and then at the end we're gonna see who is the best realistic opponent for this fighter. Today we start with Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? One of the top heavyweights right now, probably a top five, top three heavyweight, depending on how you ranking him. He's undefeated, 14-0, 13 knockouts. He's 36. He's about to be 37 in September. He have a fight date penciled in for September 24th. He just fought July the 2nd versus Christian Hammer. It was a late replacement opponent. It's supposed to have been Joseph Parker, but that fight fell through. So, he came back, what I'm saying, because he was basically inactive for about a year. His last fight before Christian Hammer, was Carlos Takam. So, Joe Joyce, we know about him. He's a sturdy guy. He got a championship chin. He got a championship jab, you know what I'm saying? But he's kind of slow, when he throw his punches, but he wears you down over time. So he haven't fought a guy that can really derail that. I think the only time he may have been hurt was in the Brian Jennings fight when he got hurt to the body. That may be his kryptonite. That may be something you have to focus on when you fight Joe Joyce instead of trying to hit him in the head, because it's enticing, because he do get clipped with right hands and stuff like that. We've seen in the Christian Hammer fight. But he is a threat to the heavyweight division. Like, he can win those big fights because he's a big guy, 6'6", coming in about 260, 265, real strong, and he's not like out of shape 260. You know what I'm saying? He's solid. So Joe Joyce brings a lot of intangibles to the heavyweight division. So just taking a look at his what he does and what he can do, what I'm saying, I think he can beat some of these top guys. You know what I'm saying? He definitely, because a lot of the top guys like Fury and AJ and Wilder, those guys 6'6", 6'7", and he matches them in the height and stuff like that. So I think he can be in those fights. It's just he just get hit a lot. So we're gonna see. But we're gonna touch into him politically, as far as the rankings and where he's standing at in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? My man D-Lo in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. It's all good. JC, what's good with you, bro? My man Tay in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. So, as it stands right now, Joe Joyce, this is his world rankings right now. He in the WBO. He's number one. He's the mandatory. He's up next. He actually in the next rotation. He's next. So he's been the mandatory for over a year, probably longer than that, since he beat Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? So he's up there. He's number two in the WBC, so right behind Deontay Wilder. He's the WBC silver champion. Going back to the WBO, he's the international champion. So the international title is like the highest rated title other than the world title, same as the silver championship in the WBC. And he's number 5 in the IBF. So I'm not really focused on the IBF because the IBF has a final eliminator coming up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to touch on that. So I'm going to focus on the WBO rankings and the WBC. Then we're going to do a process of elimination. And, just to give people intel on how I do this. You know what I'm saying? How I be coming up with these matchups. And, it's not a complete science, you know what I'm saying? Because, these managers and promoters may have other guys they want to look at. But for me, what makes sense for Joe Joyce and his career, where he at, about to be 37 years old, I don't think we need no more Christian Hammers. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get to it. Yes, sir. We're gonna get to it. My man Kenny in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Salute. 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 All right. So we're gonna take this and we'll do a screen share of the WBO rankings, and this, we're gonna do that process elimination thing that I'll be doing, and it works for me because I would see a matchup and I would put that out on social media, and 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I'll be right. So let's go down. So Joe Joyce is number 1. We talked about that, mandatory. Joseph Parker is number 2. Now that fight's supposed to happen July the 2nd. Joseph Parker signed with the competing network in the UK, Sky Sports. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of derails that fight. It makes the most sense though, one versus two. So I'm gonna have to scratch off Parker for this one. You know what I'm saying? Moving down to number three, Frank Sanchez. He's a PBC fighter. That's another fight that makes sense. He's number three versus number one. I take it, but he's a PBC fighter. So to somebody tell me, if anybody can tell me how many times has a PBC fighter fought on BT Sport willingly, that just went over there and fought. So I'm gonna have to take him off. But I like that fight though. I think that's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Those types of fights that Joe Joyce need to be in, you know what I'm saying, from here on out. Well, at number four, I'll jump ahead of myself. Number four, we got Anthony Joshua. He's out. He's coming back August the 20th versus Usyk. So we already got that. Luis Ortiz, same thing, coming back September the 4th versus Andy Ruiz. He's out. Zilly Zane at number six. He's fighting for the IBF final eliminator on the Usyk AJ undercard August 20th. He's facing Herkovic, so he's out. Michael Hunter, number seven. Um, he's gonna come back November the 12th versus Huey Fury. That's a WBA eliminator, so he out. All right, now we at number eight, Otto Wilder. So this one right here is the first one that probably more realistic to happen. He's a tall southpaw, 6'5". You know what I'm saying? He's a good boxer. He been in the ring with Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? That's a fight he probably should have won by TKO. He beat Dominique Brazil, and he came back recently. He had two fights this year recently. He fought on the Carissa Shields Eubank undercard in February. Had a little comeback fight. Didn't really look so good. Then he came back against Rydell Booker in May up in Detroit, and he looked better. So that fight right there may be more realistic. I'm gonna put Otto Wilder to the side, and definitely because he's a southpaw, and you know Usyk, he's favored to win this fight against AJ, and that's the mandatory. Joe Joyce is the mandatory for Usyk, so I'm gonna keep Wilder. Number nine, Denison McKean. He has a fight day coming up in Australia on the Zone, Matchroom the Zone, in September. So I'm gonna take him off. Number 10, Ali Demirizin. He's coming back next week, July the 30th, versus Adam Konaki. You know, it could be like if let's say he get through and run through Konaki. I mean, that could be a possible fight September 24th. That's a quick turnaround. I mean, Christian Hammer it's a stablemate. Joe Joyce just fought him, so I'm pretty sure they got a decent relationship with their promoter in Germany. So, but I'm gonna take him out though. I think that's too fast of a turnaround. All right, now number 11, Ajit Kabiel. Now this one right here, I may have to keep. I'm gonna tell you some reasons why. He's affiliated with Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? He's an undefeated heavyweight. You know, his biggest win is Derek Chisora back in the day. It's been a while, but he's kind of inactive. To me, he want to stay in the European, you know, in that brand. Want to fight European guys. He really haven't stepped up to world competition. I know he turned down the Joe Joyce fight a couple of years ago. I think 2019 for the European title. I'm gonna keep him though because of the Top Rank affiliation. You know, Joyce is with Frank Warren, Top Rank and Frank Warren. They get along, so I'm gonna keep him. So that's two so far. Number 13, no, excuse me, number 12. Let me go to him, Philip Herkovic. So of course he's out. He's fighting for IBF final eliminator versus Zilly Zane. That's August the 20th. Usyk AJ undercard. So he's out. Number 13, Jermaine Ortiz. Excuse me, Jermaine Franklin. My bust. Think about something. Think about Lomachenko. But Jermaine Franklin. So he's an undefeated American heavyweight. He fights with Salida Promotion, same as Otto Wilder. You know, he's kind of been inactive. You know, I know he supposed to have a big fight in 2020 versus Stephen Shaw. That fell through. But that may be. I mean, I can put him to the side as well because he don't have a major network. You know what I'm saying? So that won't hinder the fight. Maybe he could go over to take that fight with Joe Joyce. He was linked in with Dylan White as a possible opponent. So I'm gonna keep him to the side. Number 14, Martin Bacoli. This is another good one. He don't have a major network promotion situation going on. I know his his trainer and manager Billy Martin gonna move him right and get the right deal. That's a tough fight for Joe Joyce. That's probably the best fight out of the guys I'm keeping to the side because he's another big guy, 6'6", 270, like to throw his hands. You know what I'm saying? He coming off a big victory over Tony Yoka. So I'm actually, for the guys that's realistic, all the guys I'm keeping, I like that fight, that matchup better. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? He's in training camp with Alexander Usyk right now, giving him some good bumps. So he's in shape. He should be ready for that date if that comes to him. So yeah, I'm keeping him. And then number 15, Vlad Sarenko. You know, you could keep him, but I would highly doubt it. He's more so of a up and coming prospect, French contender. I know you got the number 15 ranking. I don't think he's ready for that type of fight. It could be a possibility, but I feel like that may be a kind of a step back for Joe Joyce, in my opinion. So actually, I'm not even gonna keep him. So as it stands right now, I got number 8, Aldo Wallace. I'm gonna keep to the side. I got number 11, Ajit Cabiel. I'm gonna keep him. You know what I'm saying? I got number 13, Jermaine Franklin. I'm gonna keep him, and Warren Bacoli. So that's 4 out of 15. That's my possible opponents based off the rankings and based off where Joe Joyce is in his career. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I be doing. He said, "Me too." All right, so we're gonna move on to the WBC rankings. That's where Joe Joyce is number 2. He's the silver champion. So we'll see how the rankings looking over there, and I can make my pick even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's for me. This is what I be doing, yo. So it may be like a tiring process to a lot of you guys or whatnot, but for me, this is what I be doing to come up with these matchups. So okay, let's looking at the rankings. Number 1, you got Deontay Wilder. Now, is this fight realistic? To me, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I know Wilder supposed to come back, but I would throw him to the other side. I don't think he's gonna that be the next fight for Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce have a fight date on BT Sport. I can't imagine Wilder coming up fighting on that platform. You know what I'm saying, on his comeback fight. So he's out. OTB Boxing Class 101 in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. All right, so we're gonna keep going. Number 3, Joseph Parker. So I had him in the WBO. I threw him away over there. I'm gonna throw him away over here. But that may make the most sense. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce is 1 in the WBO. Parker is number 2. In the WBC, Joyce is number 2. Joyce is Parker is number 3. So to me, that makes the most sense for the fight. But like I said, Parker, he signed with Boxer, Sky Sports. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that fight gonna be next dealing with Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna scratch him out. Frank Sanchez, that's another one. Same situation with the networks. He's with PBC. I can't imagine him fighting Joe Joyce, even though that is a good fight and it makes sense. Top 4, you know what I'm saying, fight. It makes sense, but I'm gonna scratch him off. Andy Ruiz, he's unavailable. He has a fight coming up. He's facing Luis Ortiz. So of course he's out. You know what I'm saying? But that would be a hell of a fight. Number 6, Aslanbek Mahmudov. Now this guy right here, he got a fight date coming up. He fights out of Canada, undefeated. He got all knockouts. He's a big, scary dude too, 6'5", 260. But he got a fight date coming up. I think it's September 16th. You know what I'm saying? His last fight, he stopped Marius Wack. I mean, he had Marius Wack hurt. And Wack been stopped before, but never hurt like that. So this guy, he's dangerous. He got some amateur pedigree as well. But I'm gonna scratch him out because he got a fight date. Dylan White. Now, this is interesting. He is a free agent, fight-by-fight guy with Matchroom, coming off a knockout loss in April versus Tyson Fury. You know, I would say he can be possible. I'm going to say it's slim. You know, Dylan White need 12 to 16 weeks for a training camp. He don't got that right now because September 24th is 8 weeks from today, basically. And I feel like he's not leaving Eddie. You know what I'm saying? And other factors, how he was acting for the promotion with Tyson Fury. Now he got to deal with that same promoter, Frank Warren. I had to scratch him out. I'm gonna say Dylan White. I'm not gonna include him. All right. Luis Ortiz, number 8. Nope. He about to face Andy Ruiz. They go Otto Wallen again. He's number 9. So Otto Wallen, at first glance, before I finish breaking it all the way down, he seems to be the guy that's most qualified to face Joe Joyce in this situation. Talked about him in the WBO. He's number 8 over there. He's number 9 here. So yeah, I'm gonna keep him. Robert Helenius, that's an interesting one. You know what I'm saying? I would actually like that fight. But Robert Helenius, he just came out recently saying he's going down the WBA route. You know what I'm saying? People linked him to Deontay Wilder because Frank Warren was asking about that fight for Joe Joyce. And the manager came out and said that Helenius is fighting on a pay-per-view card on PBC in October. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the rumors started with Deontay Wilder versus um, Robert Helenius. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that all came from because Frank Warren was inquiring about the availability of Helenius for Joe Joyce. So y'all see how that should be working. So I'm gonna have to put Robert Helenius out, even though I do like that fight. All right, number 11, Martin Bacoli. So I kept him with the WBO. I'm gonna keep him again with the WBC. That's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's no real major network ties. You got to deal with his manager, but nothing too crazy that really can stop that fight. He said, salute. My man Lost in the building. Salute. There y'all go. Y'all make sure y'all pay attention. My man Tate, you know what I'm saying? Pay attention. November, December for Wilder, so pay attention. You know what I'm saying? When y'all be hearing these rumors out, just pay attention to these dates. My man dropping. So I'm gonna keep it Coley. Number 12, you got Zon Kalabuski. Now he's a undefeated southpaw fighter, kind of like a prospect, French contender. I would say French contender, a little older, but he's been over there in Germany fighting guys. So I think that fight could be possible, but actually just looking at it, I'm gonna throw it to the side. I'm gonna say I ain't gonna keep it. But I think it could be possible. It's one of those, it depends on how these managers and shit like that work. He is a southpaw, so that does kind of give him some, a possibility to face Joe Joyce. Because I'm thinking Joe Joyce want to get ready for Usyk, in my opinion. Because Joe Joyce haven't fought a southpaw since what's my man name? Leroy Thomas, his 4th or 5th fight. So, but I'm gonna take him to the side. Michael Hunter, once again, he got a WBA eliminator coming up. I'm gonna scratch him. Philip Herkovic, he's scratched because he got the IBF final eliminator coming up. Jit Cabiel, so we've seen him in the WBO rankings. We've seen him in the WBC. So I'm gonna have to keep him. We'll see, and we're gonna break it all down. So far, this is where this is how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I go to the rank, especially when a guy is highly rated in these sanctioned bodies and here mandatory. You have to go through both of them because you would want to say if you're gonna fight Joe Joyce and you beat him, you want to take his rankings and take his standing. You know what I'm saying? In these sanctioned bodies because he's one step close to a world title in both sanctioned bodies. If the title becomes vacant, he's fighting for it in both ways. He's up there. So that's why I do that. So that's part of my process. So looking at it, I got Otto Wallen, you know what I'm saying? A Jit Cabiel. We got Bacoli, you know what I'm saying? We got Bacoli. We got Jermaine Franklin. So those are the guys I got. So looking at this shit, I think all of them are possible, but I'm gonna break it down even more. I'm gonna eliminate Jermaine Franklin because Jermaine Franklin is only rated in the WBO. That could be possible that he actually, do fight or could get that fight with Joe Joyce. But I'm gonna say because he's not rated at both, I'm gonna process eliminate. I'm gonna get him up out of there. So now I got 3: Otto Wallen, Ajit Cabiel, and Bacoli. So let's take a look at these guys a little bit closer. You know what I'm saying? I know this shit maybe seem tedious, but I'm telling you, this is how I be figuring shit out, yo. This is my science right here. So I got these 3 guys, and then when I look at it, once again, it's always about, of course, the rankings, the network affiliation, um, you know, past situations, and then what the fighter like Joe Joyce, what he really needed his career right now. starting with Vijay Kabia. So he does bring some stuff to the table. He rated in both sanctioned bodies that Joe Joyce is fighting for. He's affiliated with Top Rank, you know what I'm saying? But he's been staying on the European side of things. He turned down a fight with Joe Joyce a couple of years ago. Um, and he's trying to fight Marco Huck for the European title. So during my process of elimination, I'm gonna take out a Jake Cappy. You know what I'm saying? Even though he is a possibility, undefeated fighter, like his affiliation. So I would say it's a possible, but I'm gonna take him out. Now I'm going to Martin Bacoli. Now Martin Bacoli, you know, he don't have a big promoter. I don't even think he have a promoter. So that shouldn't be too crazy. It depends on what, you know, Joe Joyce's team want to do. Me personally, I like this fight. Out of the three, I like this fight more. I think it'd be more entertaining. I think it's a higher risk for Joe Joyce than the other two. I think he's a bigger puncher, and he's coming off the best win of his career versus Tony Yoka. But when I look at it compared to Otto Wallen, who I have left, I would have to give the edge to Otto Wallen. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to the chat real quick. I don't want to miss nobody. That man said Otto Wallen. Salute D-Lo in the building. Working. I appreciate that, bro, for sure. He said Marco Huck still active. Man, he pulled out of the negotiations because he was injured like 2 months ago. So we'll see. But looking at it though, the final two, you know, Wallen is with Dimitri Salita, so he may have a little bit more political stuff, you know, more inclined politically to make moves than Bacoli. Bacoli is a dangerous fighter, you know what I'm saying? And he don't really have the backing like that. So I like the Bacoli fight the most though. So that, I mean, I like the fight, but I'm gonna have to, the process of elimination that leaves Aldo Waller. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna break it down a little bit more why this makes more sense. It makes more sense for me because Aldo Waller got two high rankings. You know, he got two good rankings. He's in the top 10 in the WBO and WBC. You know what I'm saying? He's been in a big fight before with Tyson Fury. So the UK fans know who he is. So to take that fight in September, they know him. They're familiar with him. He had a fight signed with Dylan White. You know what I'm saying? So the UK fans know him off of that. Even though that fight fell out, they still knew about him, and that was looked at as a dangerous fight for Dylan White. And a lot of people was picking him. And then he fought in the UK on Sky Sports. You know what I'm saying? So that may be a little red flag, but he fought in the UK, so some fans probably familiar with him. And the biggest thing for me, he's a southpaw. And like I mentioned earlier, Joe Joyce haven't fought many southpaws. And I believe if you're gonna get ready for Usyk, this may be the best southpaw to do that. It's not. It may not be the best fight for me. I think the Bacoli fight be more action packed. But as far as like, you know, the political stuff with solid promotion, you know, the style of the fighter, you know what I'm saying, the rankings of the fighter, I think this should be the fight next. September the 24th. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I be breaking shit down, yo. You know what I'm saying? Hug was giving the I remember that. EBU. He said, "What if Usyk and Joe Joyce fight?" That, I mean, I'll take it too. You think? But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's gonna be next because Joe Joyce have a fight date, and you think Usyk gonna turn around? You know, he think gonna come off his fight date. These guys is, you know, um, they moving their career in certain directions. But next, like, I mean, you talking about 2023? Yeah, if you talking about 2023, he said, huh, yeah. Yeah, bro. I don't even know. But yeah, so that's how I come to the conclusion, man. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna throw it out there. I think I been did it too, but Joe Joyce versus Otto Wilder, September 24th, UK. I think that's the most realistic fight. You know what I'm saying? Will Usyk lose? Who Joe Joyce fight? Um, if he lose, I mean, you got to think about this though. If they're going to announce the fight, they probably announce the fight maybe 2 months prior. You know what I'm saying? For tickets to go on sale and shit like that. So if they announce the fight before the Usyk and AJ fight, that's a month. Usyk and AJ is a month away from his fight date. So he'll probably have a fight. He'll probably have his opponent locked in already. So it probably wouldn't even matter. You feel me at that point? Because I think it's harder to prepare for Usyk than it is for AJ. He been in the ring with both guys, but he had more sparring rounds with AJ, so he probably more familiar with him. So he probably don't need nobody to mimic him in a real fight because he probably got that down pat. Usyk being in the amateurs, and Usyk is a trickier style, and you're not gonna find too many southpaws in the heavyweight division on that type of level or a certain type of contender. You feel what I'm saying? So we good. Dub right side in the building. What's good with you, bro? He said, absolutely think Wilder is next. Yeah, I think so too. You know what I'm saying? He said, fake injury pull out. Bruce Gas in the building. Salute. Now I will say this, disclaimer. These promoters, managers, they can pick other people too. And this ain't no complete science. This is what I see and what I think they should do. And it makes the most sense. I can break it down and give my educated guess. But that don't mean I'm right, but it makes the most sense according to the rankings and what's going on with these guys' career. Now, I have heard some names now, other than these guys that's ranked in these sanction bodies. I heard Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka was one of the names that they was trying to get for Joe Joyce. They have an amateur history. They fought in the Olympics and the world in the gold medal games. You know, I thought Joe Joyce should have got the nod. They gave it to Yoka. So that's one name I heard. I heard Manuel Char being the name for Joe Joyce, you know, for September 24th. Now him, I know he got some legal issues going on with Don King and the WBA, and he may be a guy that asks for maybe all price himself. So I don't know, but I did hear that name. So we'll see. We'll see. But this is the one I take. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how we doing, man. So before I close out, man, any questions about this topic, man, feel free to drop in the comment section. Let me know how you like the video for sure. You know, this is type of thing I want to bring to, you know what I'm saying, the people who ride with me on my channel. You know, so this gives you guys another insight on how I be figuring this stuff out. Because if you follow my Twitter, if you be getting the information from me behind the scenes, you'll know that a lot of the shit I be saying be right. You feel me? And I'm not trying to be perfect or nothing. It's just this is how I break shit down. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give the most realistic. So like sometimes when I ask people, yo, who you think such and such gonna fight? And they'll be like, he gonna fight somebody in another weight class or fight somebody you know politically he ain't gonna be able to fight. So I like to break it down so we can make it realistic as possible. Now, as boxing fans, we want to see the best fights possible, right? I think we want to see the best fights, but we don't always get it. So for me, I want to understand it. You know what I'm saying? So that was my main purpose when I started my channel. Let me understand what's going on. He said, "What's good? What's up, Andre? Salute to you, bro." He said, "I like Slow Joe. Yeah, I like him too. He's gonna be hard to beat." You know what I'm saying? So I like to break it down so I can understand it, so I don't get caught off guard. I can have enough time to process it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know we want him to face the best guy and stuff like that. But we got. I put my matchmaker hat on, and I try to think like a manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would I do? I think the Otto Wallen would give him a lot of credibility. The fight would give him a credibility. That's the guy that probably should have beat Tyson Fury. We probably wouldn't even got the second fight, the second and third fight with Wilder if they would have did the right thing. If Top Rank won't going over to the corner and saying, "Hey, you got to cut." Hey, they say it's from a punch. Why they doing all that? And that cut was real bad. I seen fight stop for less cuts. So Wilder should have probably been WC champion already. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm gonna say that for another show, but I don't know. Cody Crowley, somebody on the PBC side, one of those welterweights over there. So we'll see. But if that's it, man, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. I'm gonna definitely continue this show. You know what I'm saying? Every Saturday, 9 o'clock West Coast, 12 o'clock noon East Coast. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it going. He said, "Do Laura next." All right. Um, he said, "Shit, bro. All I want to see is the best fights, but some of these guys will run fighters in the ground." Yeah. He said, "Do Laura next." All right, we'll see. JC, yeah, salute to you, bro. Salute, D-Lo, salute to y'all. So feel free, if you listen on the playback, feel free to drop a comment, stuff like that. And we're going to get it popping. Good shit, Dub. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, I'm trying to JC, you already know, man. I try to be different, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing something different to the table for sure, and we definitely gonna learn together, and we gonna get it in. Yeah, facts about that, yes, sir. So yeah, man. Salute to y'all, man. Make sure you guys, if y'all tap in with these fights, man. If I got any links, and y'all get me behind the scenes, I'll shoot some out to you. Um, we got the top ranked card this afternoon, and that's the biggest card this afternoon. But then we're gonna start heating up next week because we got Danny versus Benavidez, and that's a good card. And we're gonna keep it rolling from there. So salute to everybody coming through the building. You know what I'm saying? That's my time, and I'm out.